Hello, everyone, and welcome to Blogger and Everything. And to subscribers, welcome back to the channel or to the podcast because we're going to be taking a look at FC Barcelona's most recent match against Cadiz at home, which ended just like the last match against Cadiz at home, 2-0 win. There's quite a bit to talk about here, but I'll try and be quick about it. Once again, we saw Ledesma turn into the best version of not just himself, but generally any goalkeeper when it comes to shot stopping, like he usually does whenever he visits FC Barcelona's home ground. Put in so many saves today, but thankfully Barcelona were able to find the first goals of the season through Pedri and through Ferran Torres. So like I said, there's quite a bit to get through, so we're going to go straight into that. But at any moment, if you feel like it, go ahead and hit that like button and also hit that subscribe. And like I usually do with my match reviews, I'm going to talk about the negatives and positives from the performance, and I'll give my team rating as well as the manager rating and a man of the match. I actually forgot last week that I give man of the match as well because the performance was just that terrible. Anywho, let's go straight ahead and talk negatives. Now, obviously, some of the negatives here I felt carried on from the last match against Getafe. And for starters, once again, there was a wrong team selection, I felt, because once again, like Xavi should know, when you're going up against a team that's going to sit deep, you're going to need two wingers and two fullbacks so you're able to stretch that team. And what exactly do we get? Exactly not that. We only got one winger in Lamine Yamal and we only got one fullback in Balde. So you're looking at the fact that you're lacking a left winger as well, and you were lacking really a proper right back because Koundé had to do that job filling in at right back. So honestly, Cancelo can't sign for Barcelona soon enough. And a lot of Barcelona's issues during the game stemmed from the fact that their setup was once again just completely not the right one for the occasion. So the next negative naturally is, well, let's just say poor build-up play, if we can put it that way. Barcelona were trying too often to just, hit a long diagonal ball over the top of that Cadiz defense. Now, admittedly, the ball was on, it was there to be played, so they kept on doing it. But beyond that, the play would stagnate, then they would just play 1-2s between the winger and his fullback behind him, or maybe Yamal and whoever is behind him, like Koundé, or it would be like Balde playing 1-2s with De Jong before bringing the ball back and trying to recycle by hitting another diagonal. So that really just wasn't giving Barcelona the kind of penetration that they needed, and it's really pretty telling that the kind of penetration they needed came from Pedri and Gundogan doing the kind of things that they were supposed to have been doing the entire match, making runs in behind that defense. But it's still a new partnership, so we'll give them that time, give them that allowance, that patience. And aside from that, of course, there was also the other negative, which again, just in front of goal right now, the team does not at all look convincing. Now, it could of course have to do with the fact that it's difficult to take a clear-cut chance even when it comes when there's like 8 dudes around you rushing in for a block, and of course when the goalkeeper is in the kind of form that Ledesma is in. So I won't be too harsh in as far as the wasted chances were in this game as I was like maybe the Getafe game, where really I felt like finishing there was just too far off, too wide of the mark, as compared to this one where really Ledesma made some brilliant saves. I mean, that save on Lamine Yamal during that first half, that was pretty special. Anywho, let's talk some positive. Once again, like last weekend, first positive is Lamine Yamal. I mean, what more can I say? The kid was really at the center of every good thing Barcelona did during that first half, when really he was the only wide option that they had. Balde was not really on his game. Usually he can beat his man within the first 2 attempts. This time it took him maybe about 3 or 4 attempts before he finally got past Alejo on that Cadiz right wing. And it wasn't too much of a good game from Balde in this one. I thought even his substitution was probably justified. But Lamine Yamal, on the other hand, he earned all of the minutes that he got out there, and it's a shame that we're not able to see him for a really extended period whilst there was another winger on the pitch. And it's funny because Barcelona only scored once there was that extra winger on the pitch, when you had two wingers stretching the pitch and you had those runs in between being made. Anywho, at least that happened this time around. And I would have to say that my second positive probably here has to be the performances from Gundogan, Pedri, and Frankie de Jong. Now, like, these guys are probably going to be the three most crucial players for Barca's season. Maybe you could even say you can make a case for Lamine Yamal or Ferran as well. But I'm thinking these three players are going to be very crucial for Barca this season because they really are at the heart of everything Barca does, offensively as well as defensively. And I thought in this game, they had a pretty good showing. So good that I honestly don't know who to pick from the three of them as man of the match. I mean, Gundogan got the assist, Pedri got the goal, Frankie de Jong was just, everything that he did was the correct thing today. And he was playing out of position, right? Keep that in mind as well. So it's interesting to see what's going to happen in the next match against Villarreal, who are a team that will attack those wing-back areas. So it'll be interesting to see what Barcelona doing as far as, how they start defensively, the centre-back pairing as well as the full-back pairing that they use. Anywho, let's move on from that and talk some team ratings and manager rating. Starting with the manager, I've already, of course, mentioned here how I don't think he made the correct decision in, selecting the players that started. And to his credit, though, he did make proper substitutions that did bring on the kind of players that we needed to see. Now I'm just hoping that maybe Ferran can get a start because honestly speaking, he does deserve it. We're lacking a cutting edge in the box, and right now he looks to be our only forward who has that edge. Ansu looked like he had it, but I don't know. Right now it's probably all this noise about the transfer clouding everything, and hopefully he stays, but we'll see what happens with all of that. So because of all this, the setup and then the subs, I thought that 5 out of 10 is a pretty fair rating here for the manager. Whoever it was, whichever one of the Hernandez brothers it was, you're getting a 5 out of 10. And as for the team, like I said, again, they were not set up right, so they couldn't play properly. Despite that, we did see some good performances from the players who have already highlighted: Pedri, Gundogan, Frankie, Lamine Yamal as well. A good cameo as well for Ferran Torres. But at the end of the day, that's really not enough to get the rating up because you were expecting a lot more from this team, especially against a team like Cadiz at home. Although, home in inverted commas because it's not exactly home. But anyway, with all that in mind, I'm going to give a team rating here of 6.5 out of 10. I want to give a 7, but the performance really, especially towards the end, defensively was shaky as well. So 7 is a bit too generous considering all the chances that Cadiz did create in this game. Anywho, with all of that said, we come to the very difficult decision of picking a man of the match. And like I said, it was really a difficult choice to make. And in the end, I went with Pedri because he was from minute 1 to the end of the game, he was plugged in, he was switched on, and of course he got that all important goal. But kudos as well go to Frankie de Jong, to Ilkay Gundogan, and as well to Lamine Yamal. But aside from that, I think that's just about it for me, guys. Yeah, let me know your thoughts. If you're watching on the YouTube channel, put those thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you thought about the game. Otherwise, I thank you all for tuning in. Do have a great day, and Forza Barca.